Hello and welcome then to what is a slightly different and very special live that we have for you. My name is Zach Dorst and this is the Meet Your Heroes live, and the heroes that are in question are Jack Miller and Pecco Bagnaia, the two Factory Ducati riders, and for them we're going to have a few of our guests that have won this competition to ask them a few questions. So if we bring everyone up on the screen now, we'll be able to say hello to not only Jack and Pecco. Hi guys, how are you? But also
Ciao a
to our
tutti.
three winners that you see there at the bottom of the screen. First off, we'll just say a quick hello to the riders. And well, firstly, a bit of housekeeping. Jack, has congratulations in order after your recent good news.
Thank you. Yeah, I managed to pop the question on the weekend, and no, I'm very happy.
Yeah, knee down in a different way, which I quite like the way that you described it, so not so bad. And Pecco as well, big hello to you. How was the journey across to Argentina? Are you coping with the time zones, or is it a little bit of a struggle?
Was not so was a long trip. It's always so far Argentina to arriving here. I counted 34 hours to arriving here, and it was not so bad. But I'm okay. I'm
Yeah,
okay. A bit of jet
good.
lag.
Good to hear it. Not too bad then. Well, we'll crack on with this Meet Your Heroes live because the stars of this one are the three that we see at the bottom of us. We've got Tiffany, Pasquale, and Caffey as well, joining us from USA and Italy. And we've got some questions for them. Basically, if you don't know what this is, this Meet Your Heroes live, we ran a competition across the MotoGP social channels last week and the week before, where you could sign up and you get the chance to meet these two lovely chaps that you see on the screen here. And these three were the winners. And Tiffany, seeing as you're next to me on the screen, I think we'll start with you. I know that you have some questions prepared. So really, the stage is yours. And whatever you want to ask Jack and Pecco, fire away. This is your opportunity.
Sounds good. I'm starting with a bit of a writing technique question. What mistakes do you often see street and track day riders make?
You want me to go first? Um, Generally, I think the biggest one is you can either not do enough on the bike or doing too much. You know, you've got the guys that are either far too eager, they try to hang off far too much for, let's say, the lean angle. So that's probably the biggest thing I would say is try not to be too eager. I mean, different styles, everyone's sort of got their own style. And, you know, some people try and imitate or try and copy what they've seen on TV, so to speak. And, you know, especially for speeds and stuff like that, it's not really the correct technique. So that would probably be the biggest one, I think.
The mistakes we did. Oh, we are doing. I need to understand.
No. That you see the people on the street doing, like a track day rider or somebody on the street, or.
Okay. No, fortunately, in Italy, in my city, no one is trying to do crazy things on the street. You can always see someone with the scooter with the T-Max trying to slide a bit, but nothing too much. It's more safety in Italy. More rules.
That's good.
And so if you want to ask your second question as well then, Tiffany.
Oh, what do you admire most of your teammate?
What your?
What do I admire about you? I'm gonna start. I like a lot his professionalism. I think the way he approaches situations, he's quite quiet and calculated. Maybe more than me, so I admire that part of his character, but also very determined. You know, I think it's more of a quiet determination that he has than anything. You know, and I guess his strength to be able to sit in front of many races that he's won. To sit in front and just wash out the laps. I think that shows a lot.
Great thing about you.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you've got a couple, I mean, I don't mind.
I'm sure he has, Jack.
I like my translator. I like that he is always my translator. So one great thing he said.
It's not a bad thing to be.
I met Jack a long time ago, and I think he had a more difficult way to arriving here, and he did a really great job because it was not easy. I think was not easy, and he was already here in 2012 and started to be one of the main rival of everyone. Jose MotoGP won a race in 2016 when I was my first race race in Assen. So is another thing that we have in the same career, and I like his way to approach the weekend that is more relaxed than me. I feel always more on it, and he's always more thinking about enjoying, and it's something that I had to learn a bit more, I think.
Oh, thanks,
Very,
guys.
Thanks, bud.
very interesting answers there. Yeah, very nice answers from the pair of them. And Tiffany, I think you have one more just lined up there.
I do. I'm always curious. What do you say to yourself in your helmet all the time?
Before the race or when?
In the during the race, qualifying, free practice.
Start you.
Oh, you want me to go first again? um,
Thanks, guys.
I say many things to myself in the helmet, but generally a lot of them are swear words. Generally, I can't really repeat on here, but it's always like "come on" and stuff like that, or you need to get going. I definitely say that a few times, like "hurry up now." Like it's more just like I guess what you get, say if you're a football player or something like that from the outside, you get someone sort of yelling at you in on the field, but I sort of yell it at myself in the helmet, or at least I don't even yell it at myself. It's just sort of stuff that goes on inside my head more than anything.
In my case, I speak more myself in the helmet during the practice. In the race, normally no. But before the race, I'm speaking a bit to the bike to try to push her too, like me, and something that keep more relax me.
Oh, very good, very interesting. I imagine, Jack, some of the crashes there's been quite a few quite a few words, as you say, that you couldn't really say. So we'll definitely skirt
Yeah,
away
they're
from
not
those
really
ones. But
they're not really for daytime television, but yeah.
yeah, certainly not. Well, fascinating answers. Thank you very much for the questions, Tiffany. Hopefully, if we've got some time
Thank
at
you,
the end, I know
Tiffany.
you've got a couple more lined up too. Pasquale, we'll come on to you next. What are your questions for Jack and Pecco?
Okay, first question is do you have a specific ritual before a race?
Not me. Normally not. Just I eat and I go to the clinica mobile the same hours, and nothing more. Nothing too much. I just um, no, like this. It's always like this. Is I don't have so many rituals because I think that if I start to have some, and one day I will not do it, and will be a problem. So I prefer to don't have anyone.
I'm quite similar to him. I don't think any real rituals. I try to generally eat my food like 2 hours before the start. So generally, like at the end of the Moto3 race, I'll either go and watch the start of them on the grid, or at least try to. If I can't make it to the grid, I'll sort of sit in the box and watch it or whatever on the TV and try to block out the sound and just understand the lights. But apart from that, that's the only, uh, let's say repetitive thing is the food and just intake of water and stuff like that, but nothing else.
Very good insight. So, Pecco, just one thing actually on that. Do you not even have an order of the way that you put your boots on or your gloves? Never left first or right first?
Mm, the gloves just because I prefer to. It's easier for me because I broke the left wrist years ago, and I need more force to insert the left one, so I put before the right one. But
Okay,
it's
fair enough.
just because I broke the wrist years ago.
Yeah, so not really a suspicion, just more of a tradition because of an injury. Okay, cool. Pasquale, your second question, please.
Best and worst race of your career so far?
I think a few stand out here for both sides, I imagine.
Uh,
Start with the best.
Best for sure. I think Aragon last year I won. and was an incredible and intense race. So I enjoyed a lot. But also when I won my title in 2018 was very good in Malaysia. The worst, I think I did worse than that. In my first year of championship, I was always so far, so behind, and I think Saxer in 2013 was the worst one ever.
Coming back to actually one of the questions that Tiffany asked, Pecco, in the Aragon race last year, was there anything you were telling yourself in your helmet when you were battling Mark?
No, just after.
Just riding.
After the race, I was screaming, but yelling, but before no, I was so concentrated and I was trying to understand what Mark was doing, and normally I'm not speak too much.
Fair enough. Just riding, focusing on the riding. And Jack, your best and worst race?
Best is kind of a hard one. I'd like to say Jerez last year because that was really special, the first dry race win. But I think my best race would have been 2016, the victory at Le Bleu in Assen, in treacherous conditions. Nobody winning a race on a satellite bike for over 10 years, and to break that streak was pretty special. I've had a lot of bad races, so to pick one being the worst, I don't know. I really don't know. I want to say the hardest one was probably Portugal last year, right before the victory in Jerez, but that was probably the lowest point I think I've ever been in my career. Everything was going well for me, but it just felt like, I just couldn't get a break. I just, things weren't going right. I couldn't turn the ship around. So I think I'd have to pick that one.
Well, actually, on that race, just a little bit of MotoGP Unlimited promo for the viewers watching. If you haven't watched it yet, you might want to go watch MotoGP Unlimited because it covers Jack's struggles and then coming back to the top very, very well indeed. Pasquale, your last question then. What do you have for Jack and Pecco?
What is your favorite track in your career that you have from your career?
For me, was special first time I ride it in Barcelona because it was the first time I was in a really big track, and it was always special to ride there. It's always special to ride in Barcelona. But my favorite one is Malaysia. I really like Mugello. I really like the layout. I really like everything. Also, Misano is special for me, but more because it's my home track, and all the fans are there are incredible, like in Mugello. But the layout, I choose Mugello and Sepang, Malaysia.
I got a few, but definitely I think Phillip Island's going to be my favorite. If you speak to many guys on the calendar, they like Phillip Island. I love Phillip Island, as Pecco said, with Barcelona, that being the first big track he rode. Well, Phillip Island was the first big track I rode, and I can quite clearly remember it to this day. I felt lost because the track was so much wider than everything else I've been used to, that I wasn't using half of the track, or I was using way too much of the track and waking way too many meters. Because you're just not used to that amount of space. And let's say with the track as well, it's got a lot of really fast banking corners, and just using that positive camber to trust it and allow the bike to roll was definitely like one of the biggest like stepping stones, I guess you could say, in my learning to ride a bike well.
No,
So that was, and I mean, it's the home Grand Prix, so definitely it's one of my favorites.
I'm sure you're looking forward to going back there, Jack.
I like to Phillip Island.
Yeah, definitely. I think we all are looking forward to getting back there.
Yeah, I can imagine some more podium success coming the way of yourself, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Well, Pasquale, thank you very much for the questions. I'm sure that the guys appreciated them. And we'll come on to the final winner here, Kathy. You have 3 questions as well, I understand. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, lucky I had 2 backups because some of the questions have been asked already. So the first question, who or what inspired both of you to race?
My idol, Valentino Rossi, my dad, and my uncle, because
Okay.
they are great fun, and they were riding a lot when I was young. Not professional, but I was following them, and I was quite enthusiastic to be with them.
Cool.
Yeah. My one. I mean, I didn't really know of motorcycle racing when I started riding bikes. I started riding at a really, really young age. I was like just shy of 3 years old when I started riding, and then I understood like we go riding every weekend with the family, rah rah, and I raced my brother, and my brother's 3 years older than me, and the objective was always to try and beat him, and then I used to be able to beat him some most of the time, and I was like, surely there's got to be someone better to race out there than my brother. So I was always pushing Dad, come on, let's go race. Surely there's got to be some sort of racing, and then yeah, one thing led to another, and then of course once I got older and sort of understood, that there were these big world championships out there and all that sort of stuff, and then having the likes of Casey Stoner and learning of Australia's, let's say, big history in MotoGP, I was like, well, that's pretty cool. I'd love to do that.
Cool. Do you have a preference of wet or dry? Might sound like a crazy question, but
Dry.
No one
An
likes
easy
it. I
answer for
didn't do it.
Pecco. No one likes
yeah.
it, but you're quite good in the wet, Jack.
Yeah, sometimes we're good, but it doesn't mean we like it.
True. But
Cool.
so
All right,
in
and last question.
Mandalika, when you sorry, Kathy. So in Mandalika, when you saw the rain, were you dreading it or not?
Sometimes you're praying for it to rain, and sometimes you're not. You always prefer a dry race. It's a lot less stressful. I mean, again, and coming back to like talking of wet races, MotoGP Unlimited sort of covers that, and it's so physically, let's say mentally demanding. Whereas riding in the dry is physically demanding, but it's you know what you're in for kind of thing. But in the wet, there's so many more strains on you. It's not physical; it's just mentally draining, and you're constantly on edge. There's no relaxing at all.
Mm-hmm.
So dry.
Was finally competitive after the warm up, ready to do a good race, and then started to rain. So I really hated the rain there. But normally we are competitive on wet. Not in Mandalika. I was not competitive in Mandalika, but normally yes.
Cool. All right, and last question. When you're not on the track, what's your favorite pastimes?
I really like to spend time with my family. I live with my girlfriend already 2 years, and I really like to spend time with her and with my little dog. Time
Oh,
with friends, have dinner with friends, and I really enjoy this type of life. Obviously, it's not easy for all the hard work we have to do in the gym, but it's something that I think all like to do because we live with our great passion. So it's something great, and I have the possibility to work with more riders that also are my friend in the academy. So I like when I train.
cool.
For me, at home on the farm, with my family, we're all sort of based on the farm, and we've all got our own little spot. But yeah, I get to see my parents, my brothers and sister, my brother and sister every day. I've got a young nephew at home, and to hang out with them, and yeah, just be normal on the farm. I guess you could say, go and feed the cows, make hay, do all the fun stuff. Just be
Cool.
normal. It's nice.
Well,
Very
certainly it
good.
sounds like two very good pastimes indeed. Very different, but very, very good. Well, thank you for joining us, Jack and Pecco, and thank you very much to Tiffany Pasquale and Kathy for the
Thank you.
questions. And I think we all agree
Thank
that
you.
that was quite a nice little insight into the lives away from the track and also how you approach MotoGP weekends. So thank you very much to you guys for asking those questions. And really, that's going to round us up. So we'll say goodbye to you for now. And thank you very much for your time, and good luck this weekend as well, fellas. Hopefully on Saturday it's not going to be too sore after a long day on track. Obviously, with free practice and qualifying all in one day, it's going to be a little bit difficult, but I'm sure you're up to the task.
Definitely. No, thank you very much, guys, for your good questions. It's it's been really a lot of fun.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Perfect. And that will round
Thank
us
you.
out then, guys. A final thank
Ciao,
you very
ciao.
much from me. And hopefully you guys at home watching along have enjoyed this one. A little quick send off before we do go. Thank you very much for tuning in. This weekend, of course, is the Argentina Grand Prix. Don't forget that tomorrow there will be no track action. Unfortunately, logistical issues mean that on Saturday we've got a really packed schedule, starting very early in the morning and finishing very late in the afternoon too. So make sure that you change your schedules for the weekend and make sure you free up your Saturday. So thank you very much from myself, and thank you once again to Pecco and Jack, and also our three winners there, Tiffany Pasquale and also Kathy. And enjoy the Argentina Grand Prix this weekend. Bye for now.